Hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to I Am Preeminence, and this is our space. And today we have the beautiful Kamara Ellis, all the way from the island of Jamaica, here with us. She's a fashion designer. She designs everything, okay? From wedding gowns to this tray that I got from my mom to put her perfumes on, okay? She's so talented. Her designs are out of this world. I don't even know how she creates these things, but she's so talented, and we have her here this evening just to share with us, a little bit more about her business, who she is as an entrepreneur, and exactly how it's going for her in Jamaica right now. Kamara, welcome to the platform. Thank you so much. You're like so humble, and I just simply love you, girl. You already know.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
You're welcome. So, as you know, as we explained, Kamara is currently residing on the island of Jamaica, but she does do like international shipping for her items and her products. So Kamara, could you just tell us a little bit more about who you are and your journey that has taken you to where you are right now with your business?
Well, as you all know, I'm a fashion designer, self-employed. I have been doing this over 16 years. I basically started out when I got pregnant with my son, and I was working at Spencer's Tailoring at the time, and I decided why not go on my own and start my own business. So I resigned from Spencer's, and from there I went in, and I've been doing great so far. The additional stuff that I started doing pertaining to like the home decors and stuff, I recently added that to my business in December, because there was some home improvement going on at the house, and I work from home, so it kind of hindered my sewing abilities and stuff like that. So I was like, what else could I really do to like bring in an income instead of, stopping everything fully? And the trays came up, and they've been doing great so far.
Yes, they're beautiful. I love them. For those of our viewers that are not Jamaican, could you just explain a little bit about what Spencer's is, and basically what you were doing there that honed your craft to basically, propel you to where you are now, because you were basically working on yourself while working for that company. So just explain a little bit.
Spencer's Tailoring is a company that does suiting. They make jacket suits and men tailored suits, but they have a department that does alteration. So I used to work in the alteration department, not on the production line. So that was the only thing I used to do there at the time, because I was recently from garments. That's where I furthered my studies in clothing and textile. Mm-hmm. And then I started working at Spencer's. So Spencer's Tailoring really gave me my first experience out there in the world. And then I decided I'm going to do it by myself. The only difficulties that I had was when I used to go to garments, we had to work from paper. So I had to teach myself how to like mark out the outlines on the fabric for me to cut them. Because everything was done on paper, every single thing. But even though I know master cutting, freehand cutting, I still have to do a little paper cutting, because pattern making is a must. You have to do some form of pattern making. So that's a must. So from there, it has been good.
Okay, good. I really want to, those of you that are not familiar with our culture, garments is known. I think anyone who has anything to do with the fashion industry in Jamaica has at some point been to garments. I mean, my grandmother's baby sister,
that's true.
Who was a seamstress. I think they used to make the soldiers' uniform. Used to work at garments. So those of you that are unfamiliar with Jamaica, garment is, I think, the largest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the largest manufacturers of clothes and a huge.
It's not only a manufacturer, but it's a school because it's under NCT vet. So it's a school. They have the factory. I don't know if they still have the factory on that side. Well, they had a factory on one side, and then they have the school on the other side.
On the other side.
Wow. Right.
And guys, so Kamara is now fully established in her own business. Her company is in her name. So Kamara, just explain a little bit about your company, the name, like how did you have your name brand? I mean, it's so you because your name is infused in your actual brand name. So just explain how you even came up with the concept of your name, and have you like trademarked your name? Because I have a colleague in Jamaica who wasn't even able to use her name anymore, as in to like trademark it and stuff because someone else had got it in Jamaica. So just explain a little bit more about your name.
All right. Unfortunately, I haven't trademarked it as yet, but I will be doing so soon. The name Kellis is from the first letter of my name with my last name. Yes. So it's the K with the Ellis gives you Kellis. Right. So that's how I came about with the Instagram name Kellis Fashion Design. And so far I'm the only person that has that name, thank God. For my Facebook page, it's Fashionable Kellis. And it's it's just by the name alone says it all. I'm a fashionable person. I'm within the fashion industry. So it just made that statement.
Now, are you a one-woman show? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, especially like within the first few years of launching your company, sometimes you don't have a full team yet, but you make wedding gowns, you make these glorious things. And I'm like, is she really doing all of this by herself?
All of it, every single piece you see done, all of it by myself. I like a few pieces. My niece, she used to live with me. So like some of my pieces, she will like help me do the hand sewing, but like putting them together, I'm the only one that does that. So like only the hand sewing, like the lace detailing and stuff. Yes, I'll have her help me out, but I'm the one who does every single thing. Everything. Cutting, the sewing. I mean, I recently want to relocate because I'm home-based. So I'm supposed to relocate by next month. Have my shop and my business out by next month. I'm considering to get an assistant. Hopefully that person is able to sew within the quality of my work. Because all my customers know the work that I deliver. And once someone else gets to sew, they're like, Kamara, I know you didn't sew this. No, it's true. Back then I used to do school uniforms and like I have to be going over and over and over the person's job that they done. So it doesn't make no sense. So I just decided to do it all by myself.
Can we talk a little bit about your education in terms of your skill? Like, I know that you're big in fashion. You probably had to take clothing. And for those that are not Caribbean, they won't know what we're talking about. And I didn't do clothing. I didn't do any of the, I did the sciences. So I'm so unfamiliar with what you may do or where you can go after like CXC to get trained. Or did you have a mentor? Because really and truly, some of the most talented people didn't end up going to UTech doing fashion or going to UE or NTU doing fashion. Some people, it's a gift. So could you just talk about how you honed your skills and if you were educated, like, in the fashion world?
Firstly, I must say it's just a natural skill. I've been doing this from I was 8 years old. There was this dressmaker around the corner on the same building that my mom used to work. Mm-hmm. And I would be around there every single day making dolly clothes, cutting up my mother's sheets and stuff like that, making dolly clothes. And when I started high school and I went into grade 10, I told myself this is what I want to do. I did it in high school. I got it in 6C. And then that's after high school, I went to Garmix. So Garmix is where I did my higher level of education, where the clothing and textile is concerned. So that's why I made mention of Garmix before, because that's where I went.
Okay, did you ever have like a mentor in terms of with the clothing and textile, or in the fashion realm? Did you have a mentor who would guide you, or it was just your vision and you figured
it was just my vision? I never,
oh,
other than the lady that I used to be around when I was young, during the process of primary to high school, Miss Mavis. Probably I could say that she's my mentor, because I used to like watch her sew all the time and stuff like that, and had that, that urge of wanting to do the fashion thing. So I could say she's my mentor. But other than she, there wasn't anyone else that I would be like, okay, this person gave me a hands-on training.
And how has your business survived the pandemic? I discovered you during the pandemic. And I think the way that I discovered you was very unique. So I would love if you could talk about that.
Last year, it wasn't as bad as I expected. I thought that everything would have gone like down the drain, but no. I had weddings. I was booked for the entire year for weddings.
Oh.
Right. So I think I did 5, if it's not 5 or 6 weddings last year. So regardless of the pandemic, everyone did still, who didn't like reschedule their date, stick to their date, as they got a little leeway where they could do their wedding, they did. So I must say it didn't really affect me that much. In regards to now, coming down to December of last year to now, as I said, it was really the construction, like the renovations that was taking place at my home, brought me the vision of doing the vanity trays and home decors.
Vanity trays. I didn't even know what that was called. When I saw Lyric on the live unboxing the vanity tray, I thought to myself, oh my God, that's one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Let me tell you something. It was gorgeous. And my dad had bought one for my mom, like I told you, like over 40 something years ago. And she has never, ever in all these years used another tray until you brought it to her after you finished it. And she was just fawning over it, taking pictures, some of them not even look clear, and posting it everywhere. She was so excited. And my dad has been gone. So for her to replace something that he gave her is a very big deal.
Right.
So even though it was such a simple tray and you did it so quickly and it was so beautiful, it was a big deal to our family, because I was literally replacing something that he gave her so long ago. And she loved it. That was even more exciting. I cannot believe it. You're so talented. Like, oh my God. So, one question that I really want to ask, for young adults who may be living in Jamaica and they're coming up with their brands, or even for adults that are living here, young adults that are living here, who have a vision. You are a little radical. You've paired up with influencers like Lyric. How did you make those connections? Like, to get someone to, even if it was, because I know that Lyric is not the first person you did it. I'm watching you.
No.
She's the first person. How do you make those connections with others to, even if you do something without them purchasing it, but just to show it on their platform?
Well, you just all right. Once you reach out to them and let them know what is it you're offering, you would like to give, because I gave her it as a gift. Lyric has been through so much. You follow her and you know, right?
Yes.
So she has been through a lot, and that the Fix Your Crown, sis, is a big deal. It's a really, really encouraging big deal. And I just wanted to put a smile on her face, to give her something that would warm her heart. And it definitely did as a gift. So
yes.
I had emailed her. She wasn't taking DMs anymore. And I had emailed her telling her I had a gift for her that I would love for her to, consider as appreciation of, building her strength and for what she's going through and stuff like that. And she was so thankful and grateful for it. She gave me her contact number, and I actually delivered it to her door. So
yes.
some influencers don't really give you that privilege to deliver it to them, but she did. In the case of Tanania, when I had DM'd Tanania, because she was doing an unboxing, and I told her I would love to be a part of her unboxing video, and she said sure, and she gave me her bearer's number. I contacted the bearer, and I had it delivered to her. So that's an easy way to get persons to know your page, to build your followers, and for to expand your brand.
Right. Now, were you shy about contacting them? Because some people are very shy, or it's your business and you're just gonna do what you have to do to get it done.
In the case of Lyric and Tanania, no, I wasn't, because they're a very down to
earth women. Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah,
you definitely have some influencers that are really hyped. So for the ones who are really hyped, I really don't bother, because I can't bother with the extraness or So they were very cool and stuff like that. So I never had an issue. I wasn't nervous any at all or anything like that. If they had turned down the offer, then it would have been a surprise to me, honestly. Yes, because I really saw them as a really pretty cool person.
Mm-hmm. I think also when you're genuine, people can tell that right away. True. Have you ever had any issues with customers not being honest? And how has that affected your business or your outlook on your business?
To be honest, I have never really encountered that before. I've never really encountered a customer not being honest with me. Okay. So I must say that's a good one.
That's actually a great thing. That's actually a pretty great thing.
Right.
And then what's a new project that you're working on right now?
For now, I'm not really working on anything new. For now, my main focus is just to open the shop for next month. So that is really what my main focus is on. Because the shop is supposed to be available to me by next month. So it's to get everything prepared for me to go. Can you
tell us where your shop will be?
It's supposed to be off Old Harbour Road. Mm-hmm. That's out by Willowdene Plaza. Right. Most persons probably won't know, but eventually they will be familiar with the area. It's still on the stretch coming towards my house where I'm at now, so it's not really out of port for anyone to find me. It's still on that, and it's even closer to them to come there than to actually come to the house. Mm-hmm. Right.
Got it. And then what has been your most fondest moment since you broke away from working under an established company and being your own boss? There's probably a lot of things you've learned along the way, but what's your fondest memory?
My fondest memory is starting to do wedding gowns.
Oh, wow.
It was basically self-taught, the technique behind it. Yes. It wasn't something that I learned in school. It was self-taught. I read books, I did my research, I was on YouTube, Google, everywhere. I follow tons of bridal designers. So along the way, I learned the techniques, but naturally. So that's just one of the most exciting part. Each time I'm supposed to do a wedding gown, I'm always excited to see the finishing look, what my bride will look like. So that's the most exciting part of it.
And let's talk about creating a wedding gown. I mean, every bride is unique because every woman is different.
Yes.
And so are her tastes and her body types. But talk about the process if I were to solicit you to do my wedding gown. What would the process be like for me?
All right, the fact that you're overseas, we would, just like how we're doing a Zoom now, I would be able to instruct you on how to take your measurements in order for me to get them. And then whatever the style, the pricing is always based on the style. Okay. So it's based on the style and choice of fabric and so forth. So that's just basically it. Me getting your measurements. We select the style, we select the fabric, and the gown is made or the dress is made.
And then how long is the process of
normally for someone to book me, it's a limited time of 3 to 4 months, the least. Like if it's a simple dress, I can take a month, a month in advance. So for instance, it's a dress that has a lot of details and stuff. I need like 4 months to do fabric sourcing, to have it shipped in and so forth, and to get it on time, because none of my fabrics are locally bought.
Wow.
Right. None of my laces are locally bought. All my laces are internationally bought.
Shipping to Jamaica takes a while. And
it doesn't anymore, because like if I should purchase something today, I can get it within the next 2 weeks time. Okay. So it doesn't really, it depends. If I'm going to ship from China, it will take a while, because sometimes I do ship from China. If I can't get the fabric in the US, I'll get it in China and so forth. So it does take a while if it's coming from China. But other than that, if it's coming from the US, no.
And I just really want to know, because I cannot believe you create all these gowns all by yourself. If I live here in the States, and I've commissioned you to create the gown for me, and I get the gown and there needs to be an alteration or something, what do I do? Do I send it back home, or?
All right. I've never really had that problem before where I make something and ship it and I have to do any adjustment. Thank God. Yeah. But if that should happen, I guess that's the only option we would have. So I try my best to have it fit perfect. Right. I try my very best to do whatever nipping and tucking and to get it that nice fitting. So I'm yet to experience that.
Wow. Okay. And what advice will you give to the young you? What would you say to the young Kamara?
To the young Kamara, whatever goals, whatever dream, whatever vision, whatever talent you see you have in yourself, go for it. Don't have any doubts that you can't. If there's anything at all you see that you can do, just try it. Nothing tried, nothing done.
And then what's the advice that you would give to another young adult, especially a young woman living in Jamaica? I remember I have to remind myself that everyone's opportunity is not the same. For example, you may attend private school in Jamaica, and then you may have some going to an all-aid school, and you have some who don't have the opportunity to go to school at all. So what would be your advice to a young person there who has a dream, but they don't know how it's going to be attained, or if it's even an attainable dream?
That's a sticky one. That's a pretty sticky one, because sometimes the financing is a problem, The financing is a problem. And then when they don't have someone to help them, but if they can get like probably a little job and save, If they want to go back to school, they can go back to school. If they want to just start a business, they can start a business from their saving. So it's like it takes stages. Because when I started, I never started big. I only had one machine when I started, one domestic machine, never had a serger. I used to like, and it wasn't even clothes I started sewing at first when I decided to do my business. I started sewing sheets. You understand? Yes. I was doing sheet sets at first. And then I was trying to put the money together to buy a serger. And this gentleman had ordered 4 sheets from me. At the time, it was like 2,500 per sheets. And I was so looking forward to that $10,000 because I wanted to purchase a serger. My neighbor across the road was selling the serger. And the gentleman didn't turn up to pick up those sheets. I was been calling him, no answer.
Oh my God.
That very same evening, my neighbor saw me and he was like, you didn't want the serger again? So I said, yes, I still want it. He said, so why didn't you come and purchase it? So I said, I didn't get the money because someone ordered some sheets from me and he didn't come and pay for it. So he asked me how much was for the sheets. I told him. He said, here, what you do for me? Take the sheets and fit them on my bed and see if they fit the bed, and you can have the serger. And that's how I heard my first serger.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So it's like sometimes you're doing something you might not think it's gonna work out, but it will work.
Wow. And I think it's so important that people remember that whatever you're doing, it takes time.
Yes, it does. It takes time. Nothing happens. Like for persons, a lot of young people will see most of these Instagram, like a lot of followers, KK followers, they think they just get it within a snap of a finger. No, it takes time. Some persons will have their family have money and can invest in their business, to start off big and everything, but it's not everyone is gonna have that opportunity. So as the old people, let's say one cocoa full basket.
Yeah.
So
Kamara, thank you so much. You guys, you have to follow her on Instagram. Her social media links will be in the description box below. Kamara, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome. I really do appreciate it. I must say this is my first interview. So yes, it's my first interview. I was a bit nervous. You probably can tell. Right. So I really do appreciate it.
I'm grateful. Guys, you have to check out Kamara. Follow her on her Instagram page. If you're there on the island of Jamaica or you're international, it doesn't matter where you are. She will ship your items to you. I'm so grateful that you were able to make it because it is Women's International Day and it's Women's Month, the month of March. And every video that we're uploading this month is of a woman who I believe is phenomenal. Kamara, thank you so much. Your designs are just so beautiful. And the fact that you've created these all on your own speaks so much about your talent and your will to persevere because you've been just studying on your own. I'm so thankful.
Yes,
thank you so much. Thanks, Kamara. Guys, thank you for watching. And until the next video, take care.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome.